Lost Gospel Unlocked. Jesus, Egypt, and the Secret of Eternal Souls. Listen. Beyond the hum of your phone, the universe exhales a single, shimmering syllable. It is the memory of stars collapsing into life, the soft drum of your own heart. Tonight, we unseal a chronicle older than dogma, older than empire, a hidden pilgrimage of a young wanderer called Yeshua. Imagine desert winds laced with lotus perfume. Imagine papyrus rustling like angel wings. Imagine footprints crossing 3 continents in search of the code that turns mortal clay into living light. While bishops argued over creeds, this barefoot mystic slipped between worlds, collecting fragments of truth like gleaming shards of a cosmic mirror. Each shard reflects you. Breathe in, feel the spark in your blood, remembering that it too was forged in stellar furnaces. Breathe out, release every story that told you heaven was someplace else. Tonight, we walk beside Yeshua through Egypt, India, and Tibet, and when dawn comes, you will carry the same fire in your palms. Ready? Then, step across the threshold. Open any standard Bible and you will hear the clatter of a slammed door. Between verses Luke 2:52 and Luke 3:1, 12-year-old Yeshua debating rabbis in the temple. Cut. 30-year-old Yeshua emerging at the Jordan. Action resumes. 18 silent years gape like a wound. Scholars call them the lost years. Mystics call them the initiatory passage. And you feel their absence each time religion offers answers that do not heal your deepest questions. Where did the young sage go? Why did the editors of faith redact his formative journey? The ache is not merely historical, it is personal. We have all buried chapters of ourselves to fit someone else's gospel. Tonight we retrieve both Yeshua's missing pages and your own. The first waypoint is Heliopolis, Egypt's city of the sun, where obelisks cast shadows that mark the hours of eternity. For 3 millennia, priest scientists there mapped the resonance between breath and solar flare. Yeshua arrived as Issa, the foreign youth, and was welcomed into the Per Ankh, House of Life. He studied the emerald formula, as above, so below, as within, so without. At dawn he practiced Sikkim breath, drawing golden prana up the spine until his crown tingled like sunrise. At dusk he watched healers hover hands over fractured bones, singing vowels that reorganized calcium. In the papyrus-scented hush of the great library, he copied glyphs of the Bennu bird, ancestor of the Greek phoenix, learning that death is only a catalytic phase in a larger alchemy. Each lesson whispered the same heresy-turned-truth. Divinity is immanent, woven through flesh and photon. No temple tax required. One Coptic fragment tells of Issa sleeping beneath the great obelisk of Senusret Bash. That night, the stone itself dreamed. It saw hands of light knitting human fractures, saw deserts blooming under songs of compassion. When dawn reddened the sky, priests found the boy tracing spirals in the sand, glyphs no tutor had shown him. "What language is this?" they asked. Issa smiled. "The tongue your own hearts speak when you remember you are sons." High priest bowed, for he recognized the ancient sign of the Phoenix school. Knowledge should set beings ablaze, not bind them. Carrying scrolls and sand still clinging to his sandals, Yeshua journeyed east. Caravans whispered of a foreign sage who quoted Egyptian hymns in flawless Sanskrit. In Varanasi, he met rishis who taught him Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril, breath to balance lunar and solar currents. They spoke of karma, the echo of every action across lifetimes, and samsara, the wheel of rebirth. Under the crimson glow of cremation fires, Isa saw bodies return to ash, and ash return to soil, and soil birth lotus blossoms, an eternal recycling of consciousness. He realized the parable of seeds falling on fertile ground was not only agricultural, it was cosmic. Each incarnation is a seed, each lesson a season. Liberation, they said, is not escape but awakened participation. Yeshua stored these seeds in his heart, ready to plant them in the soil of Galilee. Tibetan chronicles in Hemis Monastery recount that a Lama carpenter named Saint Isa calmed a panicked yak herd on a narrow mountain ledge. Villagers expected disaster, but the foreign monk stood firm, palms raised. He chanted a single A tone that vibrated through stone and bone. The yaks halted, hearts slowing to his rhythm. Later, when asked how he commanded beasts, Isa replied, "I did not. Command I resonated, fear dissolves when it recognizes its own song beneath the noise." The monks taught him tummo, inner fire meditation that warms the body against Himalayan cold, a skill the Gospels later rename Holy Spirit. Armed with Egyptian alchemy and Indian breath, Yeshua returned, west convinced that life is a spiral, not a straight line. In secret circles he taught, unless one is born again and again, he cannot perceive the kingdom. Early Christians recorded these words in the Gospel of the Nazarenes and Holy 12. He likened the soul to a traveler renting houses, bodies, each lease an opportunity to expand love's bandwidth. This teaching threatened Rome, for a populace that believes in multiple lifetimes is harder to frighten with a single-shot afterlife. You cannot coerce eternal beings with temporal punishments. Fast forward to 325 CE. Emperor Constantine, eager to unify his empire under one theological banner, convenes bishops at Nicaea. The scrolls on the table include teachings of breath, reincarnation, and inner divinity. Political advisors warn, if citizens realize God lives inside them, they may stop paying taxes to temples endorsed by Caesar. Under torchlight, the bishops wield metaphorical scissors. Passages describing meditation, cut. Verses on karma, cut. Yeshua's injunction to seek the kingdom within, retained but reinterpreted as heaven after death. The phoenix is caged, the empire sells salvation at market price. But embers escape in Gnostic, Coptic, and Essene communities, embers we fan tonight. Rumors persisted that Yeshua's bloodline carried the ink of Thoth, Egyptian scribe god. The emerald tablets speak of a son of man who will incarnate among mortals to open the path of light. Likewise, the Gospel of Philip calls Mary a vessel of Sophia. Gnostic lore suggests Mary's mother, St. Anne, conceived in luminous ecstasy, her womb infused by a dove of emerald light. Whether literal or symbolic, these stories encode a truth. Consciousness evolves through lineages of resonance. You too inherit frequencies, ancestral traumas and talents. Healing means tuning your instrument until only the note of love rings clear. Yeshua's miracles were not magic tricks, they were demonstrations of a lineage perfected in coherence. Strip away incense and politics, and Yeshua's hidden curriculum reduces to 3 technologies. Stillness. Enter theta waves where thought and matter negotiate. Breath. Modulate the electromagnetic field of the heart to broadcast coherence. Compassion. The frequency that collapses duality into unity. Modern MRI scans reveal meditators lighting up prefrontal circuits while calming the amygdala. Desert Fathers call this theosis, Buddhists call it nirvana. Quantum physicists call it observer effect. Same doorway, different signage. Yeshua taught that the temple curtain, symbolic barrier between humanity and God, exists in the brain's default mode network. Silence tears it open. When he said, "Destroy this temple and I will raise it in 3 days," he was referencing neural plasticity cycles. Your skull is the new Holy of Holies. Near Beth Horon, 2 lepers begged Yeshua for mercy. Instead of avoiding contagion, he invited them to breathe in unison with him. 4 counts in, 4 counts held, 4 counts out. He whispered the Egyptian mantra, Ankh Uja Seneb, life, prosperity, health. Witnesses later swore the men's lesions closed like time-lapse petals. Whether literal or allegorical, the event illustrates a physics of compassion. Coherent heart fields can trigger regenerative gene expression. Science now calls it epigenetics. Miracles are merely biology obeying higher harmonics. Combine solar breath, karmic insight, and lineage resonance, and you get Yeshua's grand equation: love, trash, quantum field, X, attention. Every thought collapses probability waves. Every emotion charges the collapse with spin. Fear contracts. Love expands. That is why teachings from Egypt, India, Judea, and Tibet converge on the same law. As you vibrate, so you create. The kingdom is not a gated community in the sky. It is a frequency band accessible via coherence. Tune in, and reality rearranges to match the song in your heart. Feel the tremor? That is your mitochondria remembering their supernova ancestry. The banned gospel was never dangerous because it was false. It was dangerous because it was empowering. If an empire depends on fear to function, then a populace fluent in self-realization is a threat. Yeshua's resurrection is not a one-time, historical anomaly. It is the template for cellular transfiguration available to every being who aligns breath, thought, and love. The stone rolls away each dawn you choose coherence over chaos. You are not merely dust awaiting redemption. You are starfire learning to walk in form. Beloved traveler, close this video and open the cathedral of your heartbeat. Sit in stillness. Inhale the syllable Yeshua. I am, I burn, I shine. Exhale doubt. Visualize a phoenix, spiraling up your spine, igniting each chakra gate until wings of gold unfurl beyond your shoulders. When your eyes open, carry that flame into every conversation, every marketplace, every silent prayer. Comment below, share these embers, subscribe, but above all, practice. The hidden gospel lives whenever a human chooses love over fear. Tonight, let there be light, and let it be you.